Boys and girls, welcome to my channel. I'm for Classic and welcome to BenchART. So for today what I do have in here it is Hirogami. So Hirogami it is a new game from Bandai Namco, and according to the Steam page, which is confusing, it says that this game it is developed by Bandai Namco themselves and published by Kakekashi Games. I think this is a typo because it almost seems like the developer is the Kakekashi Games and the publishers are the Bandai Namco, because I mean Bandai Namco is usually a publisher. Yes, it does develop games, but these games? I don't know. Alright, let's go ahead. Maybe it's not a typo, I don't know. I'm just going to skip ahead of this because we are here today to investigate how well or bad does this game run on the RX 6700 XT. And this is, in case you are wondering, oh, but what is this? This is like an isometric type of game with no special graphics or anything. Yeah, it's true, it is. But it is also an Unreal Engine 5 game. Despite it doesn't look like so, it is. And it's actually using one of their latest versions of the engine. It is using the Unreal Engine 5.5 dot something, which I don't remember, but it's 5.5. So it's a very recent one. And I think the Unreal Engine 5.6 it's not even out, despite it was um, announced and showed a lot of performance improvements. Also, 5.5 also showed a lot of performance improvements, and I can say that, as expected, this game it is not demanding. But I don't see any typical issue from Unreal in this game. Maybe because developers know what they are doing, and maybe this version of Unreal being so recent does help to prevent many of the issues that Unreal Engine usually have. But still, we have been talking about the technical side. What you are watching in here, it is the game being played at 1080p epic settings, which is the maximum you can go with, and the frame rate it is, well, brutally above than 100 frames per second. So it's about an average of 120 at the moment of this video, and I'm recording. So it just run very well. It could be running like garbage if it was bad optimized. Doesn't matter if it looks like a cartoon or not, but it does run in fact very well for an Unreal Engine 5 title. Surprisingly, this uses the X12, but yeah, it does run very well. That's the thing that you should need to know about this game. Also, I'm not expecting this to be the most demanding moments because I've seen a little bit on the trailer of this game, and there are some incredible moments. This is a platform game. It won't be strictly limited to isometric views like you are watching in here, and our character can transform in multiple stuff. So as you can see, I just transformed on a paper so I could fall to the other side of the environment, of the map. But you can actually transform in animals which have special attacks. You can do like a pile of stuff that I have no idea what you can do. So it's an interesting game. It's what I consider to be a feels good game. I'm not sure how difficult it is, but at the moment of this video on this first level it is pretty easy, but that's to be expected given that this is an introduction. But yeah, so moving on to 1440p. It's not as easy to run obviously as 1080p, and 1440p, my recommendation it is for you to go with the settings. The performance is mostly similar, a little bit worse than 1080p maximum, but it's very similar. As you can see, 1440p, I'm having about 120 frames per second in this section, so I mean, it's mostly the same. I did recommend you to go with the settings because, let me just show you the maximum. So here it is, and let me just show you. Yeah, epic 1440p. There is no custom setting in here, so you can't customize anything. I'm not really sure if there is resolution scaling being used or DSR or something. It's not really specified, so I have no idea. But the reason why I don't want to recommend you 1440p with this epic / maximum settings, it's because it runs very close of dropping to 60, and I'm pretty sure there will be more demanding moments inside this game, especially when the cameras will change from an isometric view to something like a third person. Okay, it's to be expected that the game will drop below 60 on those occasions, since there will be more details, more draw distance, at least I believe so. And so, despite it is running above than 60, it is to be expected that it will drop below than 60 on those moments. Even the 1% lows at the moment of this video, it is around 55. And whatever plays this type of games, they usually don't play it because of the graphics, okay? So the art style is amazing. Everything seems to be made of paper, folded in different ways to characterize an object. And that's exactly what this game tries to be. It's Hirogami. It's based on the origami folding paper. So everything it is made of paper, including your own character. So interesting concept. I'm not sure what will be the price of this game, and I'm using the demo version. Okay, despite the game was released really at the moment of this video. During the recordings, I had no idea what was the price. The developers and the Bandai Namco didn't provide me a key, so I decided to use the demo version. And given that the demo version it is actually in a very good state, it is to be expected that also the final version will be more than okay in that sense. So this was 1440p. Let's move on to the final resolution, 4K, and see how it fares. So 4K, my recommendation, it will be median settings. Okay, this should provide an experience very similar to what we had with 1440p and 1080p. So it is again an experience around 100 and something frames per second. So probably you see that at the very beginning when there was kind of a transparent stuff and the view was mostly third person with depth of field, the frame rate dropped to 80. So that's exactly why I'm recommending these high frame rate modes or settings, because like I said, I'm pretty sure there will be more demanding moments, especially the ones when every time your character is on a kind of a low camera third person view instead of an isometric one, like I said. So this is the performance that you can expect for 4K median. It should be fairly similar to what I had at 1440p high and 1080p maximum. I'm pretty sure resolution scaling is at play. Some of the downgrades that I've noticed while reducing to median is the shadows. It seems like we no longer get dynamic shadows inside the environment or the objects. The only thing that adds shadows is our character, as you can see. The rest of the stuff doesn't seem to have any shadow, or when it does have, it seems to be very low resolution to a point that seems to be like those ancient baked shadows. Yeah, some stuff that does move have shadows, but it's a very low resolution ones. So a lot of the lighting is stripped. I don't think that it's a big deal, because again, people that play these type of games, they don't really care about the graphics. And I still think it does look good and has its own charm. But yeah, unless you really have a 4K screen, I wouldn't go with trying to use 4K and median setting, because I don't think it is good enough in that sense, because the high settings and the epic settings, both of them look virtually the same. There might be obviously differences in there, but it's really hard to spot. While downgrading to median, the difference is quite evident in there. It's very easy to spot. Okay, so to end up this video, I have a side-by-side comparison as usual, and this side-by-side is in between 4K high settings and 4K maximum. And as you can see, 4K high settings when the camera was in a very low state, the frame rate was below than 60. I want to avoid that, but it's up to you. If you have a variable refresh rate screen, playing at 4K high settings should provide a good experience nonetheless, judging by that moment. Because apart from that moment, and as soon as it changes to a more higher camera, a more isometric view camera, the experience it is above than 60. Okay, while 4K maximum settings, it's only there if you want to lock the game at 30, or if you don't care about the variability of the frame rate in between 30 to 40 to low 50s. In case you don't care about the frame rate, 4K maximum is the way to go. honestly, for this type of game, I would try to target 60 frames per second. So if I had a variable refresh rate screen, again, I would go with high. But my recommendation stands with the median settings. Not only because you have a lot of margin to spare. If you lock the game to 60 or something like that with that frame rate, the GPU doesn't overheat that much, and there isn't really as much power consumption as with the high settings. But still, and again, there is a good difference regarding the quality in between median and high. So yeah, like I said, if I had a variable refresh rate, I would probably go with high. But if I didn't, I had to go with median in this case. Okay, so again, very quickly, 1080p, go with max. 1440p, go with TI. And 4K, go with the median. Okay, that's my personal suggestion for Hirogami. And think about for the developers and publishers behind this game to make the demo available, at least for me to try out the game. I'm very interested about it at the moment. And that's it. Guys, thank you a lot for watching, and I do hope to see you soon. Goodbye.